Hi, Jacob Bach here in Madrid, Spain. And about 2 years ago, I remember writing a newsletter and telling you about something really curious that happened. We have a team up in Berlin, Germany, that was out on the street preaching the gospel. And they go out there every Friday night and they preach in one of the main squares. And two Spaniards happened to be traveling from Madrid up to Berlin. And when they got to Berlin, they saw these guys preaching on the street. And afterwards went up to them and said, "Who are you guys?" And the Christians up there says, "Well, why do you ask?" They said, "Well, we were down in Madrid passing through the main square in the Puerta del Sol, and we saw these guys standing on a box preaching, and they're saying the same thing that you guys are saying up here. So is this something you do all over the place, or did we just happen to catch your show here in Berlin?" And we all kind of chuckled and we thought, what are the chances that these two Spaniards heard us preach in Madrid, travel up to Berlin, and hear the same message again? And that's when God placed on my heart, wouldn't it be wonderful to have open air preaching in every main square all across Europe, in the 38 countries of Europe? And that's where that was birthed, a red box in every country in Europe. And so I had that in my heart for the last couple of years. About 5 months ago, I was in Sarajevo in Bosnia Herzegovina with another missionary colleague. And after a couple of days of workshops, I said to the few Christians that are there, now Sarajevo is a country that's about 90% Muslim, and they have about 300 mosques and 6 evangelical churches. And I said, well, let's go to the street and let's preach and let's see what God does. And so we went out to the street. We had this old Coleman cooler, and it was red, so we thought that was cool. And we stood in front of the Catholic Church. We stood up on top of the box, and we preached, put up a couple of literature tables, and people made lines to talk to us about the things of God. And we were just blown away at the hunger and the openness that was in the hearts of the people. So we did that for 2 days. We're just absolutely blown away at the openness of the people in Sarajevo. Came back just the other day. A lady's walking through the town square of Madrid where we're doing our open air meetings. And she looks at us and she points her finger and she says, "You guys were in Sarajevo a few months ago." I says, "Well, how do you know?" She said, "I was passing through the square down in Sarajevo and I heard you preaching. Are you the same people?" I said, "Yeah, we're the same people." She goes, "And I hear it again here." And I go, what are the chances? I really believe that God is in this. I believe that it would just please God that his church would be on the streets, in the squares, in the parks, in the plazas, all across Europe, so that the Europeans would have a chance to hear before Jesus comes back.